Hello ladies and gentlemen, MD Fashion Collectibles here, and today I'm going to be reacting to the Aliens Fireteam Elite review by IGN. This just dropped, so let's get into it, but first, roll the intro. He had a dream to play Aliens Fireteam. He collects themes. He's got high self-esteem. He's credible. He's unforgettable. He's commendable. He's MD Fashion Collectibles. Okay. Alright, let's get into it.
It's impossible to overstate the influence James Cameron's Aliens has had over video games.
Facts.
From the rowdy hoots and hollers of Halo's interplanetary marines to layered rows of gnashing insectoid teeth in Contra,
Facts.
the medium owes a lot to the legendary 1986 film, and Aliens Fireteam Elite is a long overdue interactive cover song of sorts.
Have you been down to the surface?
Facts.
Did you make any arrests?
This three-player cooperative third-person shooter from developer Cold Iron Studios excels at frantic firefights with never-ending hordes of xenomorphs throughout gorgeous landscapes sure to tickle your nostalgia. It's only the lack of a compelling story and exhausting pacing that keep it from being a classic itself. Aliens Fireteam Elite takes place 2 decades after Ellen Ripley gave her life to protect humanity from the xenomorph in Alien 3. Sadly for everyone keen on keeping their chest cavity intact, the universe's deadliest species is still thriving. The latest outbreak is on LV-895, a planetoid rife with all sorts of acid-fueled uglies, and it's your job to mow down as many as possible. Beyond this embryotic set dressing, though, the story never gestates into a tale with anything to say or any nuance to it. Not once.
Okay, so no story, but I'm okay with that because Left 4 Dead 2 is still a great game without any story.
In the 10-hour campaign, did I care about the events or character motivations?
10-hour campaign, I heard it was 6 hours.
Because what's there is thoroughly uninteresting, and ends up feeling as if you're just on a somewhat shallow Aliens-themed roller coaster. I won't deny that Fireteam's nostalgic peaks and valleys are a blast to ride out all the same, considering how joyously vicious combat is. Xenomorphs will
This is a very, very good sign that the combat is fun, the combat is vicious. This is going to make the game live forever.
still in their rooms,
Or live for years and years.
emitting a raging torrent of spine-chilling shrieks, seeking to drown anyone caught in their sea of acidic lifeblood and head bites. Staying afloat means keeping them at a distance with the firearms at your disposal. Be it the M56 smart guns that automatically lock onto most anything that moves, or old-fashioned pump-action shotguns that come in handy for close encounters. There's something wildly satisfying.
I can tell he's a real Aliens fan because he's using the references from the film Aliens. I like to keep this for close encounters.
About pumping a bunch of cannon fodder xenomorphs full of lead, then witnessing their exoskeletons explode into dark green hunks of cartilage and flesh. More formidable xenomorph breeds are not so easily disposed of, however. Take for example warriors, hulking brutes that serve as tanky bullet sponges. Whenever one showed up early in the campaign, my co-op partners and I would inevitably exhaust several magazines of ammo just to keep them from punching a hole through our skulls. Until we learned of a better way, that is. Fireteam periodically introduces new enemy types that force you to make the most out of your 5 available class toolkits, and I came to adore the Demolisher's shoulder-mounted rocket launcher. My only gripe with the classes is how weird it is having RPG-like elements when all of it amounts to little more than boring passive buffs. Sure, slight increases to a pulse rifle's damage is fine, but it's not compelling enough to make me want to replay missions ad nauseum as if this was Destiny. And
Okay, so the difference is in Killing Floor 2, these damage changes are enough to... It's not about replaying, it's about tweaking them to get the highest damage thing so you can beat the harder levels. It's not about this is going to make the game funner to play. It's these are the tools that I can use to make myself better to beat this difficult game. So a little nuance there.
strategies open up as a result.
Which I can tell he's not a co-op survival shooter veteran like me, but that's okay.
However, should you wish to take another stroll or two through the campaign, there's a decent amount of visual variety and optional objectives to spice things up.
Optional
Fireteam has
objectives.
4 chapters, each with 3 missions apiece, offering glimpses of iconic sights from across the Alien saga. From cold, moisture-caked metal corridors of an atmospheric
Cool.
processor to engineer ruins commemorating long-forgotten battles with the xenomorphs.
Less cool,
There's
but
plenty to feast your eyes on. Better yet, selectable challenge cards like one that disables special abilities introduce unique modifiers to keep subsequent playthroughs relatively fresh. I welcomed any opportunity to tweak the ebb and flow of missions with open arms, because stagnation sets in quickly without it. That's due to the fact that Fireteam's level design is dismally repetitive otherwise.
yeah, see, this is what I said. The maps look like they look beautiful, but the design-wise, they look like it's too much like this was made to have a firefight, not that someone's living in it.
You're either funneling along narrow pathways or triggering wave-based defense sections. And essentially, that's it. By the 30th press E to trigger the Horde prompt, I couldn't help but sigh in exhaustion. At the same time, any deviation from this formula usually results in distinctly irritating encounters.
That's a shame, but in a sense, sighing in exhaustion is a feeling that you definitely have in Aliens, but it also is sighing in exhaustion, but also excitement.
Halfway through the campaign, you'll run into armed synthetic androids, and that's when Fireteam becomes a Gears of War style stop and pop affair. While I appreciate breaking up the monotony of persistent xenomorph ripples, the alternatives aren't exactly fun either. Most of the time, they just made me wish the xenomorphs were all I had to contend with.
Yeah, I don't know why they put in the androids, and I do too hope that they don't have a huge role in the game, because yes, I don't really want to play a cover shooter. I want to play an Aliens game.
Repetition be damned. What bugs me the most is while Fireteam lifts countless ideas from Left 4 Dead, it forgot all about the importance of safe rooms to mark progress and avoid frustration. Nothing takes the wind out of my sails like failing one of these bafflingly long missions. If the whole squad goes down, then it's back to the very beginning for the whole lot of you. That doesn't sound like a big deal, but when each mission takes upwards of 45 minutes on more challenging difficulties, the margin for error transforms into a cavernous precipice where patience goes to die.
Well, 45-minute missions, that's crazy.
Aliens Fireteam Elite does enough right to
That's a very fair criticism, because Left 4 Dead 2 has safe rooms. And if this doesn't have safe rooms, that's 45 minutes, and then but then again, we play Killing Floor 2 45 minutes, and you know, you could all die at the end. It does increase the stakes, and people are willing to play it.
plenty worthwhile for a trio of co-op shooter fans who'd rather battle hordes of xenomorphs than the usual zombies. Between the excellent weapons, classes, enemy types, and some wonderful nostalgic hat tips toward what came before, it's a must-play if you hold any fondness for this series. The caveats, of course, are having put up with repetitive scenarios and some excruciatingly drawn-out missions. Fireteam may not be a triumphant win, but it's far from a game over, man.
7. That's better than.
For more,
That's
check out
about
our
what
reviews
people
of The Ascent
expected.
and Dungeons and Dragons: Dark Alliance, and make sure to watch our
That's about what people expected. I'm
preview of Back
I'm
4
happy
Blood.
with that.
And for everything else,
I'm happy with that. A 7 out of 10. At least it's not a disaster. At least it's not a disaster. At least it has, hopefully, replayability. At least the gunplay is fun. You can make the game great over time if the gunplay is fun, if the fundamentals are fun. I'm very excited to play this game in a few hours, as it drops in a few hours. Keep it locked here. I'm going to do a Let's Play on it. Join the links below to see me playing and all that in the Steam group, in the Discord group, and also run the outro.
Oh, y'all turn up right now.
If you join the Patreon for $2.50 a month, you get a shout out on the videos and get to go to the Discord channel with the pros. Boys can't comment in or can't chat in unless they part of the Patreon thing. So look down below for the link and tell me what you think, boy.